Okay, guys, good evening. Ninja here. Glad to have you all here tonight. Going to go over a couple of names. We're going to still keep our core and focus from last week, which was ANTM. That was our core for last week, which was one of the cores, but the main core. A lot of you last week touched it, and some of you didn't. For those that didn't, I mean, that's on you. I cannot tell you what to buy, and I don't tell you what to buy. I just show you the levels, and you take action from there. Whether if it's your trading needs or trading description or however you trade, that's on you. But please keep your feelings to yourselves during market hours. Venting is okay, but if you're venting to the point where because you missed a move or you missed a trade, or because you were just too scared to get into the trade because you didn't want it to go wrong or against you, that's understandable. But don't please keep that venting to yourself, because I don't like to put any of the other team members down as well that are actually doing good, because when one's trade's going against somebody, another one's actually benefiting from it. So you got to keep that in mind. But first we have right now, actually, yeah, we're going to go with PRU. I'm going to start with PRU. PRU's right here in front of me. We've been trading PRU for a long time now. My favorite insurer. And insurers move with banks. I love it. Have a nice, somewhat of a double bottom. I mean, we can call it a double bottom or somewhat of forming a W pattern. Our levels and our fibs have been intact. We had that big move down in, was this July? Yep, in July, came back down. We profited off of that nicely. Then we had a nice pullback again. Now, I'm looking more long-term again. Now we're looking more at December 100 calls. They're pretty cheap, but I'm looking for this vacuum to basically resolve that 91.85, as you can see over here, double fib, well, double bar, two yellow bars, 88.70 and 91.85. Nice flag formed here within the 14 and the 30 SMA. And I liked it a lot. I don't like to overlook too many things when I'm actually I'm reviewing it. I always review every ticker before I actually go live, because I just want to make sure everything's in place and this is what I want to focus on. So I don't want to overcrowd anybody's judgment. I don't want anybody to overcrowd my judgment. I don't want anybody else to overcrowd everybody else's judgment. Like, I understand you guys are watching other tickers, but I'm sorry, I don't care about the other tickers you are watching, because I'm focused, and this is why I do well, and this is why others do well, because we remain focused and we just focus on 2 or 3 names. When I throw lottos out there, lottos are out there because I just like plays that look like they have a good setup. So that's why I throw lottos out there. Plus, those lottos also help us predict the next move. So if those lottos work out, then that means the move is ready. And for example, GS did 2 Fridays in a row of 10 bags off of a lotto, and it has confirmed that it's ready to go for 220. But we'll get to that too. So here's proof. I'm looking at targeting the red bar. Once we get over this double bar here, 91.85, hold that level, vacuum to 94.46. We can actually make this an ER run-up play, and we can also make this a sell before ER and then buy back after ER. So we can either hold into ER but already collect our profit, taking the 95 November calls. We can do that. Or, and there should be 97.50 calls too as well. I'm not too sure. Let me double check. 1 second. Just make sure. November. Yes, there is 97.50 calls and it's 95 calls. So the 97.50 calls and 95 calls. The smartest play would be the 95 calls. You can get an easy 50% off of those for ER run-up. So I like that as well. But let's keep that in mind. Let's just stay focused. Play smart. It's only $1.07. Probably gets cheaper by tomorrow, depending on how we open up tomorrow, which is probably be a little small gap up. I want to see us come back down on ES anyway. But for PRU, that's what I'm looking. I'm looking at the 95 to 97.50 calls for November, and then 100 calls for December. Going into next year, this possibly might pull back down to 91. after it touches 102 and then bounces off the 30 SMA, then we're going to be targeting 110 or 105 calls for March. So this is basically on our to-do list for the week. Sorry, let me just. All right, next up, ANTM. I was a core play for last week. Did very, very well. I loved it. The vacuum played off perfectly. I held, but I also, and this is what another thing, I have to, I don't know, I feel like I'm very repetitive with this, but I mean, for people that have been here, there's been people that have been here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they already caught on to everything and how we work and how we operate just from looking at Twitter. You have people that's been here for a month, and it's just, if you have a cash account or a day trading account or whatever account you have, I don't know if nobody notices that you can buy Monday, sell Tuesday, and buy back Tuesday. So you don't get no day trading calls. You don't get there's nothing because options settle one day. So if we're buying ANTM and let's say it closes up 50% Monday, Tuesday by, let's say, 10:30, 10:32, or 11:45, between that time, it goes up a little bit more and get another 50%, that makes it 100%. You can mark out, basically close that position full, or if say I've had 10 contracts, I'll close out 8 contracts and wait for the pullback on a Tuesday end of day, and then I'll just rebuy back again and get back into it. So the people talking that complain about, oh, Ninja buys Monday and sells Tuesday. Well, this is options. I don't even have to be a day trader. I can have a $500 account and I can buy Monday and sell Tuesday. There's no fault in that. I'm not gonna put you in a trade that you're gonna have to hold it forever, because that doesn't make any sense. You have a cash account, option settle one day. I'm just going to keep repeating this, and I'm going to replay this video over. Probably Friday, I'm going to retweet this video a lot because this is very important information. So we get in Monday. If it's up, you have some people that can day trade. Me, sometimes you can take the risk. It depends on how it works. So I also learned something with trading too, options. I can buy Monday and sell Monday, and then I can buy again Monday, but I cannot sell again because then I'll get a margin call, or what you call it. So the trick behind that I've been learning and how to get around it is I will buy Monday. If I'm up 50%, 100%, I can sell Monday, and then I can rebuy back, but I just cannot sell Monday. If that makes any sense, and it should make sense. But again, I put you guys in plays that you'll be able to get in Monday and get out Tuesday. Or you'll be able to get an opportunity to double down Tuesday, or you get an opportunity to actually get in Tuesday as opposed to getting in Monday. So you have people that want to wait, or they're like, you know what, I want to just see how this move is. I want to test the move. But let's get back in focus. ANTM, this is the weekly chart. Red bar is very important. We didn't close over 266.39, but we did close above the 14 SMA. 14 SMA is sitting currently at 261.38. So come Monday, I'm not even gonna lie to you. You guys know one thing I love is I love pullbacks. I always feed off of pullbacks, those for better entry. You know, a lot of you got to understand is stocks have to pull back. Price has to come back. I know you want things to run, but it's even more better when it pulls back because it becomes more aggressive. The trend has to work. It has to balance out. So in this case, I would like it to come down, probably test the 30 SMA one more time. And then I wanted to get back over 266.39. Targeting 275, 278, blue bar. You guys already know that when we're trading above the blue bar, which is our fib level, or I call those the 3 ladies, blue, green, and purple. We have a nice flag going here. As long as we stay above 260, that's all I care about. We can even hammer down to 250. We can come off to 251, open up there, and a nice hammer, and it's still considered a flag. But I want to see it close above 266 by Wednesday. I don't see why I can't do it by Tuesday, but that'll be nice. Targeting 278, so the 277.50 calls will work. 280 calls as a lotto for Wednesday. That's when it'll become cheaper. Everybody knows that on Mondays you can get a premium boost crazy depending on what time we get in. I know you guys witnessed something with ANTM when they reported. They opened up down and then they basically it was awesome. It was just how it went. like that day, opened down at 251, and then the option price started moving after. It took like a while for the option price to move, but it was just crazy and intense. I guess there was no volume, no real volume happening. And this is why I like no volume gap downs, because that's a perfect time to get in for cheap. A lot of you are trading with Robinhood. I don't recommend Robinhood, but if you don't want to worry about commissions and everything like that, honestly, I like E-Trade. I mean, I pay 35 cents per contract. Everybody else probably pays 51 cents, so some people pay cheaper. I still can, I need to negotiate again with them. It's about that time. But you guys are like, oh, how did they get this price? E-Trade has the best executions, best fills. Nobody can argue that with me, because I've did Thinkorswim. I've done every other broker. I mean, Tastyworks, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. I won't do it. I don't praise it. I mean, that's something to get used to. I'm not bashing it, just not a fan of it. That's why I never leaped into it. I watch it. I look at people trade with it. It's not for me. I like E-Trade. I like the executions. They're very lenient on a lot of things too. I can get away with a lot. I can basically get away with murder with E-Trade when it comes to fills and issues. Like last week, there was issues with executing to sell, and they kept freezing. Last Thursday, I was pissed off. You know, I didn't call it in because I'm just like, I don't want to deal with them. I just wanted to trade. This ANTM, this is basically top of my list for this week. Main core for me. Then we got GS. I love GS. It's my favorite bank stock. As you guys know that. I love trading GS. I only trade it when I feel it's ready. I never trade it when it's not ready. And it's like Fridays have been a thing. And last week I was like, I'm going to wait till Thursday to trade this stock because it just has that perfect setup. And if you can see here, we got the 14 and 30 SMA mimicking the last time it did it over here as well. And this is what makes me still long, targeting 216.57. This is where we need to get this price to. See the 14 SMA crossing, 14 SMA crossing, and it was just consistent. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 freaking green days in a row. And this is just basically setting up here as well. You know, it's possible. Targeting, so I'm looking at the 215s, and I think it's like 217.50 calls and 220 calls. With time, the smartest thing to play would be 2 weeks out 220s or a week out 220, just in case we'll get some overhead at 216.57, and it just will get above it, come back down. So as long as we get back above that, we can either see somewhat of a triple top here to here, or that can just come down, bounce, and then bring us back to 227. That would be nice. So these are going to be your levels. You have your levels in play. Watch this video over and over. Next one is a somewhat of a small cap. LXRX. I don't know. I like this stock a lot. Reminds me of GoGo in a sense. Why? Because it's trading very cheap. It's under $5. That move Friday was the reason this happened the way it did Friday was because of just a lot of volume coming in on the options. It was possibly because everybody wanted to get in for the $4 call. They felt like it was cheap, caused it to bump about 50%. I wish I found this a long time ago when it was actually down here, because I actually would have been long. I don't know. These bios have, like, they have that setup to where it can be a big play. It has a nice gap that has to be filled around 515 to 556. So playing the $4 calls would be nice. I'm also looking at the $6 calls for December. Get a nice premium boost on those if they're very cheap. But I want to wait. I want to see how price reacts this week. This is the second time. Actually, this is the first time it closed at the green bar. It's rejected the green bar last time in September here. So it's actually it looks pretty good. I like it long term. I definitely want to see a pullback. It's still trading within a flag, depending on what you see and how you see it. I mean, I see a flag. I'll show you why. This is my flag here. This is how I see the flag. You can call it a box. And I want to see, this is how I want the price to resume. So I want it to remain above 353. If it gets back to 353, that's definitely a long buy for me, retesting the 14 and 30 SMA as well. So this one I like as well for a long term, something to watch and keep our eyes on. I was even looking at March of next year, $6 calls as well, just more of a long term rather than a short term. We have Dow. That was a long-term play of ours that we play. ER was amazing. That's what we were going for. I felt they would beat. The setup was perfect. Daily, weekly, everything was just right. You can see the flag. Drew this flag a couple of weeks back. It's just been excellent. We were targeting the 51.77. We didn't get there Friday, but that big move Friday was awesome. From 4 cents to 65 cents. That's 10 bags plus 10 bags on an ER lotto. And then the funny part is we played it pre-ER. So we got well, I think it was 18 cents to 45 cents. Then it came back down, got back in for 15 cents to 30 cents. Then it came back down for a Thursday where I got it at 4 cents to 5 cents. I would have bought a lot more. And then after nobody really took the lotto for a re-entry for the third time, I put it on Twitter, and Twitter reaped the benefits as well, as the whole team did too that stood in. So keep that in mind as well. I'm watching this one. I want to see a pullback to 49.89. Remember, monthlies are closing Thursday, so Thursday all monthly candles close. Keep that in mind as well. That's very important because it gives you an idea to where the direction is for the price. And I like it for Dow. I love it a lot. Like these wicks here. Nice upside of 53.64 for next month or possibly next year. Oh, this is quarterly. Oops, sorry. Monthly. That quarterly looks nice though. January 55s would be nice. 5-point move from there. But definitely 53 can be seen within next month. So that would play off nicely. This last month had a 6.93 range. Also, BKNG is actually reporting, I think it's this week, if I'm correct. Nope, the week after next. So they're reporting when PRU reports that same week as well. So keeping BKNG is definitely on my list. That Friday, that downgrade, oh my gosh. And it's funny because I'm like, we're going to get news on BKNG. I'm thinking positive. We get a downgrade. That downgrade was pretty freaking interesting because they downgraded it, opened red, came all the way down to 2018, and then closed up at 2055. Very impressive. Not something I'm not shocked of, but it's just like, come on. They downgraded it a week before ER. Smart. This is long term. I'm looking at all-time highs for this one to trade. I like the stock a lot. In the past it has done well. Let's look at hold on one second. Corporate actions. Last ER we did good on it. ER prior to that one, it had for that, now this is a monthly, so that's 224 points. So I have to look more on the weekly chart. When I'm looking at ERs, I look at the weekly charts, and I look at past ER moves. Why I look at past ER moves? Because I like to see the range to get an idea. And the funny part is, like for Amazon, I mean, it was a 50-50 with that one. But so here you go. This was the range for BKNG, 203 points. Then the ER prior to that one was 144.99. So not this week. If we're judging off of 2044, I have this orange line here. We can do 100 points from that. So that would be around 21. We do 2150. Look at those calls for a week out from now. Do a little run up. You can even get this week's calls for 10 points higher than they currently are. Wait for a pullback. But I like this one for a good ER run up, and I feel like they're going to beat. I definitely like this setup. The setup is very clean, nice and strong. Trend is there. All-time highs look like they're very, very close. A lot of people dislike this stock because it's basically, I don't know, they got hurt in the past. And I'm not talking about in our room, I'm talking about on Twitter. People don't like BKNG. I love it. I love it a lot. That bounce over the 30 SMA, nice retest. Now we're targeting 2200 and should not be bad. I mean, that's very possible. We can actually hit that. But if we're going off this monthly candle, we'll get a close probably around 2075, maybe 2080. That would be nice going into next month. But it's going to be interesting. So we got this week. It's the 1st November. It's Friday. And then I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So the Tuesday after next is going to be when they report. It's the 5th to open up for the week. Definitely looking at the 2150s to 2170s for BKNG. You guys would know when I get in position for it as well. I'm actually going to check them right now. Let me see what they have for that. November 8th, that week. Very expensive, as you guys can see. It's going to be expensive because it's ER week. $2,200s. The 2200s will definitely be on my radar. But then I would like, my goal when I'm playing these big numbers like Amazon or BKNG, the first week or the run up, you always play, you can play a couple of weeks, you can play a couple of strikes high, like out the money, just for a little run up. But the smartest thing to do is play like near 1,000, or like if the ask is $10, that's like one of my favorites. I like that. Why? Because you can get a easy 50% boost on anything trading at $10 with BKNG, Amazon. Why is because, like, for instance, BKNG Friday, it wasn't Friday, it was actually Thursday going into the close. It went from $10 when I rolled, no, that was actually Amazon. It rolled down. It went from $10 and I think it tested $16, which is about 60% right there anyway. So it's still not too bad. But you can flip BKNG, and we done it so many times, and we did it for 1 week straight, and it was awesome. But I like this. I have a feeling they're gonna do good. So that's gonna be on radar for this week. But my main focus again is ANTM. Other than that, every other play that comes into play as the week goes on it will be considered either a lot or something I'll be testing. So again, I want you guys focused. The levels are here. Go over them. Watch the videos of how to draw your levels, how to focus on your support and resistance. That's all you guys need to focus on. I love using my 30 SMAs. Why? For this reason. And then again, like I said, monthly candle closes. So I want this monthly candle to close above 266.39. So I'm targeting 275, hands down. 275 to close this week. So I'm targeting 265, 267, 50 calls, and 270. 272, 50 calls of work as well. I mean, a thing I want you guys to learn and use, because I'm very good at this, and this is how I pick my strikes. Last week's high for ANTM was 272.96, right? You round that to the nearest strike would be 272.50 calls. So it pulled back. When it pulled back Friday to whatever Friday's low was, you should have bought the high of last week's high strikes for the following week. So let's say I'll go into Friday. Give you that good idea for Friday. Here we go. Coming in. Okay, so Friday's low was 258.10. So if you bought 272.50 calls here for next week, you bought the bottom of 272.50 calls. I mean, for this week, sorry, this week. At last week, you bought this week's 272.50 calls. You would have got the low, and you would still be in profit, and you'll be riding into this week. Unless this opens down around 250, which I definitely doubt, but I wouldn't. I mean, it's possible. And open around 260 would be nice as well. I'll take any 2 points out the money or near the money or in the money or at the money. I like to play safe. And just looking at the daily, we're trading above, we're hovering above the 30 SMA too, and the 14 both here. 14 is actually steady. No, actually 14 is rising, 30 is steady, basically flat. So this is good. But just keep that in mind. ANTM is not done. Targeting 284.59 2 weeks out prior. Not this week, but not next week, the week after next. So that's it for now. I'm actually looking at other things, but this is just my focus. You guys want to learn how to stay in the game without so many plays because something looks nice. This is what we're going to do. So study. Go over this feed. Go over this stream. Play it over in your head. Get yourself ready for tomorrow. And you can wait for me to get in a position If you want to jump in and you want to lose money, then that's on you. But everybody's like, oh, why doesn't Ninja get the strikes? I give you the strikes, but you're going to try to get in early in the morning, and then what happens? You're paying 50% higher than we are. So that's not a problem, and I'll give you guys that as well.